Okay, love you.
Oh, me too.
Hmm.
Need some to drink?
Yeah, I can another one. Thank you.
All right, you guys. Um, that was a lot. Um, when Ronan gets back, I'm gonna see if we can all collectively give like one word that we would give this episode.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
guys some time to think about the one word you would kind of give to it. But I think the thing is, this show started in 2016, and at this point, it's been 10 years, and all of us here, they're on this, as well as you guys out there. We've lived through a pandemic, lived through literally a world turning upside down, and our lives have progressed from young adults to adults, or vice versa. And I think we've literally grown with these characters, literally. And so I think it just means so much more. Like this isn't just like, Game of Thrones was amazing, Walking Dead was amazing. Um, we've gone through some generational shows, but truth be told, I think that these characters and the lives that they've led or how they progressed to be have kind of helped shaped our perception of a lot of things as well. So I think this, at the end of the day, just take that into consideration, regardless of how you guys feel about the show or the episode, that this is very significant to a lot of us. So I just want to make sure I said that. If you guys want to comment on that, you can. But
I mean, look, it's like you said, like regardless of how people, and I know that there's definitely going to be some critiques or some criticisms or some people reaching when it comes to the last volume and this finale, but overall, I would just say that, like, given the fact that a lot of us here are just emotionally like compromised after that finale, just goes to show, like, even if some of us do have some gripes with certain things, this show meant something to a lot of us for the last like almost 10 years, and it meant something like damn near like again, Mike, Ronan, as you guys said, like you guys pretty much are around or could relate so much to like Jonathan and Nancy and all them. Me, I'm around the same age as Finn, Sadie, Caleb, and all them. So it's like this just brought me back to when I graduated, and just everything that was going on around that time. And yeah, we've lived through some crazy shit in our own world with the pandemic and multiple other things. And this show has been there for us multiple times, like this story has been there for us so many times. And now it's like, it's over. Like, yeah, there's other stuff down the line, like the Tales of 87, but like, regardless, it's over. And there's never going to be another show like Stranger Things, specifically for what it has done for us. So
Mike, Ronan, one of the things that I kind of cemented is that this show has a lasting effect based on kind of who we've become as men, as adults. And I think that what we thought the episode was going to be is like this epic climactic thing, but I think it, more than anything, it gave a lot of resolve and connection, which is what cemented us with the beginning of the series to begin with. It wasn't like how grand the budget could be or how many deaths or whatever. It was more so the human connection. Um, uh, Ronan, did you have any thoughts on the show as a
Uh,
whole coming out of this episode?
um, I don't want to. I can't talk about the whole thing as a whole yet, just because there's a lot to digest. And I'll say this: I think they did stick the landing. There was some turbulence, but what I appreciate that a show does with its finale is that although we were like, wait a minute, does this mean this? Like, how does this make sense? And the pacing and all that stuff. What I got out of this is that there are moments, like not even big set pieces, just a quiet moment or just a look between people that resonated so much with me. especially where I'm at right now in my life. Memories I remember from the last week in high school, graduation, my first week in college. Um, hell, the first time I consistently started doing this, whether it be the first time I finally met up with Mike in real life or with you, Sam, there's a feeling in moments in this finale that harken back to stuff that happens almost yearly or every few years. I know I get that feeling sometimes when that door closed and that fade away when I leave Comic Con. I know I that feeling does hit for me on the tarmac and like I'm sitting on my seat and um I think that I give applause to these kids because they grew up in front of us, and I feel like a lot of them got a moment in this finale. And I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna be part of this whole. If this is gonna be a big review, but I would say that like that we said goodbye to this show, and I was okay with saying goodbye with it. And if regardless if in 20 years they want to reboot it, they want to revisit again, like I'm happy saying goodbye to this show, and I'm content with where I am right now. Much like Mikey, I still have a lot of swirling thoughts, but the quiet moments, the moments of interaction between characters, that hit home for me. And that's why a couple times, if you when you do see our reactions, that like you'll see me cheering, you'll see me quiet, you'll see me crying, you'll see me just thinking about. You'll see moments where stuff hit for me. So, good job on this finale. I'll have more deeper thoughts later in the line, but I'm going to sleep on it and just stay still and remind you folks that we're in New Year's Eve, so there's a lot going on beyond just this finale. But that's where I'm at.
Yeah. And Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I have like thoughts in terms of certain plot things in this episode. But the part that kind of hit me was, and really didn't hit me until when it was actually over, because like I was feeling it in certain scenes of the character moments of what this show is all about, right? This whole thing started with a bunch of kids, playing D&D, and but this speaks to nerds more than anything. Regardless, not might not be D&D for you, it could be Star Wars, comic books, whatever. But I'm saying if you're a nerd, you have some form of, I would say, like a personal cornerstone in your life that you go back to remembering, right? And there were like two scenes in here that reminded me. One is like, now I'm getting older, it's like in my position in my life now, I am married, I'm older, but then it's like, but also like this fandom, everything here is like, it not saying it just ties it back to the childhood, but it's like part of who we are. But the main core of this really felt the emotional connection that all these people have with their friends whom they love. And at the end of the credits, the only thing I just said, not because of like I like about the plot or anything, because I'll talk about that on the critic side, but on the emotional side, the only thing and the feeling I had in my personally right now I had was I just miss my friends, man.
Hold tight.
God damn, this finale. We finished watching it. It's hitting me now. Fuck.
Hold tight. I'm before somebody else joins in, I want to ask you guys collectively, and I've given you guys a little bit of time running. I didn't give you as much time because I didn't let you know. If you could give one word of what this episode was, what would that word be? And I'm gonna move this just so we can have it selected. J King, I'm gonna get you first. One word.
Okay. I mean, fuck, there's a million words I could say. I guess just I guess I can take an easy one so the others can have a better one. Emotional. Like just very much emotional.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's completely valid. Mike.
Acceptance.
Mm, mm, There's so many levels to that.
Yeah.
Shiggity.
Yeah.
Ronan.
Living, not surviving, living. That word means a lot to me because sadly a lot of us now just have to just settle for surviving, but no, to me it's living. And it's like if you had to roll the dice, roll the die, the D&D die, and like would you do a lot of stuff again, like would you turn on this camera, would you get this mic? And I'm like, yeah, I would do it all over again.
Okay. Oh man, those were so good. um I would say humbling. I mean, to make it very plain, like as critics, like we see hundreds of shows, hundreds of movies, right? This episode, I could have accepted a lot more deaths, sure. Could I accepted a lot more crazy battles and blood and all this and that, sure. Could they have gone overboard with the budget, sure. But I feel humbled because what I got was more than enough. And I didn't anticipate it. I really truly feel like I got humbled. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. And that's weird. Like, a lot of shows can't do that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it just can't. It just can't. And again, we're talking about this from an emotional standpoint. I wanted to make sure we had this moment to do that. We can be critics. We can go and talk about all the things. But why are we watching this at the end of the day? And I think a lot of times we critique so much, we don't go back to what was the connection and why did we watch it? And I think that this episode made me understand the gravitas of this season. I had thought the season was about getting us to this breaking point. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're breaking through something and we're like, that's it. Like, this is all ending. I didn't realize it was bringing us full circle of why we fell in love with it. Even until the last 5 minutes of this. I think the best connection that I could say with this series was Superman and Lois. Or yeah, Superman and Lois, and the way that ended.
Yes.
That ending reminds me of this ending. It wasn't necessarily what I thought or necessarily what I thought I wanted, but it was exactly making me understand the purpose behind it in one episode. But yeah. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think I can add on to that. It's like you said it perfectly. Like, this reminded me of how I felt because it's like, regardless of budget or writing, you know, whatever the case may be, it's like this got me in a similar way to how Superman, because Mike knows when the Superman and Lois ending happened, I was on the floor crying, and it wasn't because of you know, the story. It was because of the emotions that it brought me as a lover of Superman and what that show had brought. And I also, funny enough, I found this before this season even started. It was a D&D dice. I found it on the ground. Nice. And it just reminded me, it's like, regardless of the writing in this show or where they decide to put the budget, the fact that character-wise, like the connections that this thing has, like, that's the thing. As you said, we can critique, nitpick a whole bunch of stuff within this entire season, within the whole series, but the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, we need to remember why we love these shows, why we want to watch these shows, and that be because of the story and the characters and the actors that have brought these things to life. You know, like, regardless of how the budget goes. That's why, like, even for some of the shows that people quit on, it's like, if I can still find that emotion at the end of the day, I think I'll be satisfied, at least in most of it. And Stranger Things is going to be similar. I love the show. May not be the best in terms of dialogue or action in some certain cases, but that's not why I came here. I came here for the story of Eleven, Mike, Will, Dustin, Max, all of them. So, yeah.
Sorry, guys. I was about to bring our fifth in here, but I think he's gone. Okay, man, we are not doing well. I think we're doing well. Like we're actually handling this
Yeah.
well, but we're not necessarily doing well. Okay, let me ask this question. What was the highlight of this episode for you guys?
Oh, I can't answer that. I'll just say this. There's a line that that Elle says to Mike. She said, I need you to explain this to them and tell them thank you so much for being so kind to me. Oh, fuck you, Duffers. Oh, that line, that was the one that like started like choking at my heart. That like just like her telling him like thank the group for being kind to me. That she and again when they meet her in that rain, she didn't expect someone to not just put needles and put her and tell her what to do, but like that they were kind to her and they took her in, and like even seeing Dustin yell, it made me. It's weird how memories go. It made me think of season 1, where she defends him from the bullies, and he's like, "Yeah, that's our friend. She's a freak, and she'll kick your ass," or whatever whatever he says. That was when it started. Like, I started almost like twitching a little bit in my leg. I'm like, "Oh no, this is happening." I like eventually I'm gonna have to let go of this show. But I'll say that was starting for me. That they had a moment. And it was not in the middle of that chaos. It was in the Odyssey. It was in that like not Odyssey, that quiet space she has. And I was like, no, just me and Mike. And there's other moments, but I'll say that was that moment of like tell the group that thank you for being so kind to me.
Yeah. All right. So I'm getting Jarrell in here as well. Just got him in. So now the group is complete. We're talking about what was the key moment or I guess impact moment for you guys. Jay King, I'll go with you next and I'll go Jarrell and then I'll finish off with Mike. What was the key moment for you guys?
I think that's difficult to pinpoint, but I think if I did have to pick one, it was probably, and where I think I really was starting to break at the moment was when Mike was describing, in the D&D fashion, them going their own ways. It's just, that was again, as I said earlier, that was a similar feeling I had when I graduated and realized that a lot of things were about to change. And it's just so like seeing them all going about their lives, and also the fact of like, oh, is Elle out there? That's what I would just like to believe. I think that really got me because it's like, as I said, the emotion in terms of how far they've all come from, and now they've all earned where they're at right now. So I think that was definitely a moment. And if it wasn't then, it was definitely Hopper's speech to Elle about she deserves to see the sunset, basically, before everything went into chaos. Like, I think that if I wasn't the Mike moment, it was definitely that Hopper moment saying that she deserves happiness at the end of all this.
Yeah, no, that was, they got me with that. Jarrell, key impact moment. What was one of the better moments for you in this episode?
Okay. Sorry, there's a lot going on right now. I can say spoilers, right?
Yeah.
I'm good on that. Okay. A high impact moment? Like a favorite moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
good.
Okay. Probably I guess like gun to my head, maybe like the last, conceptually what they were trying to do in the last moments there were sort of like I don't even know what you would call that. I guess we returned to the beginning, I suppose, with leaving the kids, Derek and them, in the basement playing Dungeons and Dragons. We sort of start with these kids playing the game. I do conceptually like that that lasting imagery, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Or concepts. I like the concept.
Mike, what was your key impact moment for this episode?
Key impact was one scene again. I think to Jarrell, I know again on the critic brain, there's several things that I had issues with, but I'm talking about a moment that I like on an emotional level of that scene with Hopper and Mike, right when he was leaving right before his graduation, and basically explained the two roads and saying you have one road where you go down, you're beating yourself up, and you're pushing everyone you love away, and you're trying to run things, different, in your head over and over again, how you could have done things differently, or you could have go the other road, and go by, one day at a time, and um, uh, trying to make the best decision that you can to move on and accept what happened, and just live the best life that you can. And I've been on that other road, and I wouldn't recommend it. I for someone that has been on that road, a season of my life, and it just kind of just I like in terms of him giving that um emotional moment to him again, going back to what the feeling I have of this episode, which is acceptance. Um, because that line that is can mean a lot of different could go apply to a lot of different things to people. So and I just thought that was just that scene was very powerful, and I thought it was directed very well. And the dialogue, for that scene was written very well. So um now a factor surrounding it, whatever, but that moment was that was impact for me.
Yeah. I mean, all you guys' moments were ones that were in my head, but I'll take a different approach to one. And it was actually Henry and Will's moment. Um, when Will was seeing what happened to Henry, realizing that the Mind Flayer had manipulated Henry, and like Will deciding to be empathetic to somebody that has abused him, hurt his friends, killed his friends. It seems on paper it looks so anticlimactic and looks so cheesy. Like, yeah, he's gonna try to do the right thing, but that takes a lot of strength to do that. Like he decided to ask him like no, you don't have to do this, like you can stop being a victim. And it was something that similar happened in My Hero Academia recently on the latter season, where it's this real crucible moment of realization that okay, yeah, this did happen against me or to me, but I've accepted it, and this is who I am at this point. This gave me a different lease on life. And so I think that Noah and Jamie were in their bag from an acting standpoint, but it also is a very human thing. Like I think there was a lot of like human things that happen in this that I just didn't anticipate, but that was one that I didn't see coming because it gave us the official showing that yeah, Henry wasn't completely in control. But at the same time, he is allowing himself to be used in this way. And I thought that was a really impactful moment. But I think the final scene, man, really struck a chord with everybody. And I'm really curious to see what the world kind of internalizes with how they kind of closed up shop with the books being put up and with them finally kind of seeing that they can move forward. Like all the characters truly felt like they could actually move forward. Where, I mean, for all intents and purposes, all these people are traumatized, dude. Like, but they're finding a different path. And I don't know. I think that's more important than all the spectacle in a lot of different ways from a writing standpoint. But anyway, this is a lot. I don't even know how we're supposed to do this. I think this is more than I anticipated. It's weird to say. It's more and less at the same time. It's
Yeah,
not
I
a whole
agree.
bunch of deaths. It's not a whole bunch of craziness. It's not a whole bunch of like actiony moments. I don't even necessarily feel like there was an action moment that I really even cared about substantially. It was more so the human moments and the character progression that I cared about more than anything. Like when we freaking finally see the Mind Flayer as a big old kaiju in CG, and yes, it looked great, but I I didn't necessarily care as much as the moments that were the slow moments, those subtle moments. I think that those have more lasting impact, and those are going to be more memorable. To be honest with you, I feel I might be wrong. Y'all might disagree, but as interesting as the action moments were, and I love seeing Hopper go ham. He went a full Rick Grimes at one point, but when Henry compromised Hop, like I was like, freak. Like he hit him with the truth. And he had to go back and talk to Jane about it. And she had to reconcile that. And the freaking sister had to reconcile that. Like it, those moments were more important than the actual action moments. And I think when I think back to the first season, there weren't a whole bunch of action moments. It was a lot of more of the mystery and the discovery of what this actually really meant. 11 learned to live because of Mike and those people. And I think which one of you guys picked that scene? I think it might have been Mike or J. King, where she had that moment with him and just let him know, like, look, you show me what it is to live. Like that was real. And it went all the way back to the first season. But I don't know how we're supposed to move forward with this. Yeah. I guess what we can do, we can give final thoughts and ratings on this. I think we're gonna end up having another discussion.
Yeah, I can't talk about this whole thing today. Like, no.
It's New Year's. I got family literally next door.
Yeah.
Again, I can do this a couple different ways, or we can collectively do this a couple different ways. We can pick this episode apart and the season and whatnot from a critical standpoint. If that's what you guys want, if y'all want that, if y'all need that, then that's fine. We can go and tackle it from a double handstand, like what did this actually really mean to us, and what did this actually mean for other people in other generations from a show standpoint, or we can do a combination of all three. But we're gonna tackle this tomorrow or the day after that. I'm letting you guys know as a collective. But let's give closing thoughts, and if you want to give a rating, you can. If you want to reserve your rating for the next time, then that's fine. But I think we all really need to sit on this and have a happy new year, keeping it a buck, bro, because this is a lot. J. King, I'll give you honors. First on deck. Final thoughts, rating, and
okay. Well, I'll save my rating because I definitely need some time to think about this. A few days, probably. I probably won't give it till me and Mike make our video. But in terms of my final thoughts, I'll say it's just, look, it may not be perfect in all the ways, and there's going to be a lot of things that people disagree with, and there's going to be a lot of things that could have been better. But like I said before, this show, we all joined this show not for the action, not for the budget, but for the characters. And we believed in what the Duffer Brothers gave us in that first season enough to stick with it all the way to like 9-10-ish years later. And that means something. And regardless of how you feel, this is a show that we're always going to remember for those emotional character moments. And me personally, I'm always going to remember these characters and their moments from all of these seasons. Like, this is just going to stick with me for a while. So I would just like to say, Duffer Brothers, thank you. And yeah, no, that finale fucked me up. But this was great on an emotional standpoint.
Oh God, Ronan, closing thoughts. And if you want to share a rating, you can.
I'm glad for a lot of great moments and dialogue in this finale. They hit that rating. I'll say this: it's not the worst episode of this season, and it's definitely not the best episode of the show. I don't think. I could be wrong, but yeah, I didn't go and throw the my screen and go say F the show. No. I was nowhere near that at the end. So I'm thankful that we weren't there. I was like, whew, okay. For me, I wasn't there. I'll talk about it more later, but yeah, this was a hell of an experience. I'll give him that. Hell of an experience.
Yeah. Mike.
Well, first, I'm not giving a rating for this show. I had no emotional reaction to the show whatsoever. In this episode. But no, I'm just kidding. But the feeling that I have at the end of watching this, just a reminder, one, why I'm a nerd, why I love being a nerd, but also um that what I appreciate having friends that we can bond over with this is not just like, yeah, we like, comic books or, nerd stuff, whatever, but it's a part of it, like it, who we are as people. And and I don't know. It's just in this age now where we have just in our fandom of IP, whether it's Marvel, Star Wars, Stranger Things, D&D, Star Trek, whatever. You know what I mean? And it can get very toxic. But then you're reminded, like, hey, we've had these conversations for years in different settings. That again, emotional cornerstones in your life. You have a moment where you bonded with your friends over some stuff, or going back and forth with your friends during lunch, talking about the last Spider-Man movie that just came out, or or the new animated series or something, the Batman miniseries, Static Shock, whatever. Anime, the same thing. I want to make sure anime does not get leave out in this conversation. But it is just reminded me, one, also be appreciative of the friends I have in my life now, also in my adult season, and that includes you guys too. And I don't want to, I especially in this day and age, I don't want to take, anybody for granted. I just want to say I appreciate and love each and every one of you. And I'm not trying to be cliche or anything. I'm just stating a fact. And I, these moments, of us, whether watching films or talking about nerd stuff or shows and everything and stuff like that, definitely give me life. And I love you all. So, yeah.
Aww.
Aw.
Dang, Mike. Sherelle, closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts.
You can reserve your rating for tomorrow or whatever day we do it. But yeah.
No, I have one, but oh boy. So first off, I'm gonna have to come back. This is gonna be extraordinarily brief, but I'm gonna have to come back and give my thoughts. Yeah, we have some technical difficulties behind the scenes, you could say. So hold on. Let me just back up because I was listening to what you guys were saying before I jumped back on. And I just gotta say, there were like tears flowing and stuff. So I would like to actually say first that it is interesting that there's been this 9-year ride, and it has been emotional to some extent collectively, but cumulatively. As far as a rating, I'm gonna go. It's probably like if a 7 is a good on my scale, 7 out of 10. It's probably like a 3 or 4 out of 10. Kind of feeling like a 3 out of 10, if I'm being honest. I did not share the emotional connection that you guys had, unfortunately. But there are some concepts in there that I can kind of see how you got there. And I do look forward to sort of going deeper here, but I sort of had a mirror opposite response. But I'm glad for the journey, though. Listen, I love The Godfather. I love the first 2 Godfather films. Not so much the third one, but I still love the Godfather films. So this will be an interesting road forward.
All right. And last but not least is me. Should I wait to give my rating or should I do it now? I don't know.
Maybe you should wait.
No, you gave yours, so I'll give mine.
Okay.
I give it for this episode B or a B plus. I think I can't rate the season as a whole yet because unfortunately the 5th season connects and binds all of this. We truly got all the revelations in this season that we've been kind of waiting for. So I need time to process my thoughts on the season as a whole. But I think that conceptually, there are a lot of different things that they handled with these character arcs that they truly gave them real closure. They didn't leave any nook and cranny undone. Even the fleeting moments of certain character that I was wondering how they were going to tackle that. You know, they went the classic route of like you tell me what the story actually was, what was it real, what was not. But I think that the lasting emotional impact and the entertainment value of it, I think they handled it really well. I think they stuck the landing of actually closing the show as a whole. The question is going to be like, what could they have done differently? I think that that's something that's going to be weeding in my head, but I truly did enjoy it. And I think it's going to be something I'm gonna have to take time to process. And I don't know how to actually conceptualize my thoughts on the season as a whole, but I am very thankful to have had this series in my life. Um, and I'm definitely thankful that they did get to actually finish it because a lot of people were worried that we wouldn't have actually gotten a closure. So I'm glad they did what they did, and I'm thankful for the ride that they put us on. We're gonna go into more details tomorrow, or maybe the next day. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, this was dope, and I agree with Mike. I definitely love you guys, and I'm thankful for our like-minded opinions and our difference of opinions because that's the whole
Same.
point of conversation and discussion. And I'm glad that we could take a break from being critics and actually conceptualize our emotions and thoughts on what it actually meant to us as well. Because I think that that's as equally as important. I think we've reviewed so much that we've just become stagnant. We don't really actually think about the emotions behind that. So I'm glad we got a moment to do that. But anyway, I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity of putting out your stuff. Mike, where can everybody find you, man?
You can find me everywhere on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, everything at Jedi Mike 7, brought to you by SOA Media. Going to New Year, we got a ton of content coming, video essays, movie reviews, and shows and interviews as well. Coverage and all that sorts coming very soon. So yeah, at Jedi Mike 7.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, Mike. We appreciate you, dude. Ronan, where can everybody find your content, man?
At Ronan Unchained on YouTube on all the socials. More anime, more potential Fallout stuff. There's plenty. Man, there's plenty to talk about Avengers Doomsday. Star Wars. I can't talk about that stuff. Let's just say we have a lot of stuff planned out already, even before the new year has started, and I'll leave it at that.
Appreciate you too, Ronan. Thanks for coming, man. Jarrell, where can everybody find your content? Take this off so they can see you.
You can find it Jarrell's Alexandria. That's like my main hub or YouTube channel for all my content. And yeah, you can find me there.
Appreciate it. Last but not least, Jay King, where can everybody find your content, man?
On Instagram, you can find me at jking_ZIO, and on YouTube, same thing as Mike, Jedi Mike 7 by Solo Media, where we got a lot of movie and TV reviews, interviews, essays, not just within the world of comics, but maybe even anime going into the following year. But yeah, we definitely got a lot of stuff coming, but that's where you can find me as well.
Oh yeah, I gotta include me on that. Let a brother know for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
we're gonna go, you guys. Thank you guys so much. We will let you guys know with some kind of announcement when we're actually gonna go to another discussion. But we're gonna go, guys. Peace, everybody. I think we're going.